really, but... So you guys, pandemic was a crazy time for us, speaking of dance ministry. And like, I live in Los Angeles, and Los Angeles, I mean, we kind of lost our minds during the pandemic, and some things were closed, and we had some businesses were open. Remember, we've just all been through. And so in my town, because we are so amazing, they shut down the churches. But praise Jesus, they kept the strip clubs open, because that is an essential business. Right? So I said to my pastor, Eddie, I said, you need to think outside the box, and we need to have an outreach at the strip club, okay? Because that's where you get the tithe in cash, okay? Those girls, they know how to work, you know. You just get them saved, and then they get 10%. Do you know what I'm saying? And I mean, your pastors, they always have a positive attitude, and my pastor always had a positive. I had this one friend, Pastor Regine, out in California, and he's just happy like all the time. We're going through like a worldwide. He's like, praise God, turn to your neighbor and stand 7 feet apart. But I mean, he was just like the whole time, he was like, everything is so good, even though like it was crazy. And then his church was open, and there was a time where they were like, you're going to go to jail if you keep the church open. And he kept his church open. I was like, I know he's going to end up in prison, and he's going to start a choir, okay? Like, that's going to be... Like, the policeman would hit him, and my pastor would be like, you know what? That was very strong of you. I love your arm. We could use you on our building team, okay? We could use you. But it's so good to have my job back, you guys. I love doing comedy, and your church gives me freedom. But a lot of times, you know, in 2022, every time I get on stage with a microphone, especially at a church, they have to give me a little talking to, okay? Because they don't want, you know, and I just want to say before I start my show, if anybody has any anger issues, like Will Smith, if you don't want to work it out, you don't come up. I'm just saying, like, we work it out in prayer, okay? And I got some bodyguards who will help you work it out if you don't like what I'm saying. But I'm not going to do that, Pastor. I'm not. They're like, just be unified, okay? Don't offend anybody. Don't trigger anybody. I'm like, I'm a professional, okay? That's not what I do. But I just want to know, if you're vaccinated, can you please stand up? No? Is that too soon? We don't? Okay. Okay, who has COVID right now and needs a healing? Just who needs... We have faith for you, but in the parking lot, all right? I don't have that kind of faith, but I will use COVID for the rest of my life, not to see people I don't want to have lunch with. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't have lunch, COVID, you know? And it was so dumb, you guys. I did not get it all. Like, the whole time I didn't get it. I was like playing the Hunger Games like I was going to win. And then I got it this summer. I got COVID. But by the time I got it, it was so late. Nobody cared. So I told all my friends I had polio, you know, because I wanted a meal train, you know. I'm like, COVID, that's so 2020. I'm like, no, it's typhoid. It's typhoid. That's why I can't go to the gym, because you can't. It was a hard season. I have 2 beautiful kids. There was a time during the pandemic when I didn't see my kids for 3 months. I had to quarantine away from them. I mean, I didn't have COVID, but I just went to Hawaii because I felt like... Because any of you moms that were homeschooling, you had to go where the Lord said, go away from those children. I'm just kidding, you guys. I'm just kidding. They're in the car. They're fine. They're fine. I rolled down the window, St. Louis. It's not that hot. They'll text me. I've been telling that joke for so long, and there's always like millennial moms that come, you can't leave your kids in the car, Kerri. You're going to go to jail. I was like, I know that, Tiffany, now, okay? But I was raised with the old school mama, and if you're raised with the old school mama, she left you in the car, and she didn't care about Child Protective Services, okay? Your mom went to a movie and left you with leather seats with the sunburn that said Buick on it because it's 102. Your mama did not care, okay? My mom did not send me to Spanish camp. My kids are like, I want to go to Spanish camp. My mom just handed me a sprinkler. She's like, have a nice summer. I'll be inside watching my stories, okay?